Hello, my name is Mirza Asrar Baig. I'm the CEO and founder of CTM360, a cybersecurity technology company based out of Bahrain. Cyber threat intelligence overall has been always looked upon as indicators of compromise and threat actors and threat reports. And in my humble view, there are missing pieces. The primarily missing pieces are indicators of exposure, indicators of warning, and indicators of attack. The industry does not look at it in that manner, so we thought of building the technology to fill in that gap. There is one area which is also called TTP, which is the techniques which the attackers are using in the attacks. It is part of the MITRE framework, but that also was, in our humble view, not really being focused on. So we brought all of that together under this new perspective of threat intelligence. Hey, there is too much data out there and you have to automate, otherwise you can't really manage it. The point is that whenever you look at any aspect, be it other businesses or even like cybersecurity, a lot of data points are being produced. How do you filter out? Number one, you have to filter out the noise. Then you have to also filter out the low value ones. And you have to figure out what are the ones which you can address. Because you can't do security all the time, every time. Rather, you have to focus on risk-based. So threat intel needs to be figured out that which is an area where we need to focus on. Hence, we need to automate it. Well, that's a very challenging question, There are too many strategies which should be looked upon by the CISO, and he is being bombarded with all the new type of risks. And he has to also fill in the gap between the business and technology. But if you ask me one top one for this year, like my slogan is, your cybersecurity is as good as your vendor. So if your vendor is insecure, you are insecure. That's another big missing piece. So a major strategy which the CISO has to look on is to complete the ecosystem of security. They have to focus on all the third parties, vendors, partners, customers. They have to figure out, because they may spend a lot of money and time securing the organization, but a weak vendor will give away all of their security. So this is primarily one. The number two, there is this area that as a CISO, there is too much focus inside the organization from another aspect, that they're deploying all the technologies inside. What about outside? The attacks and the attackers are outside. So you need to have a strategy to actually look over all your threats which are from outside, and you should also be able to continuously 24/7 look how your organization is from outside. So that is the strategy which we also cover in CTM360, by the way. We call it the external attack surface and digital risk protection.